Welcome. This is the God All the Time channel. Here we share biblical stories, reflections on God, Jesus, and spirituality, offering insights for a deeper faith journey. Today, we're going to reflect on something we all deeply desire: peace. Peace in the world, peace in our hearts. In a world filled with turmoil, uncertainty, and division, many of us long for the kind of peace that transcends all understanding. The good news is that God offers us just that peace, a peace that is not of this world, but a divine peace that is given freely to all of His children. We are often surrounded by chaos, whether it's in the news, in our communities, or in our own personal lives. But God has always been about peace. From the very beginning of creation, when He spoke the world into existence, His intention was peace. The first chapters of the Bible describe a time when God's creation was perfect, and there was harmony in all things, between the heavens and the earth, between God and man, and among the creatures. This was God's design, peace in every aspect of life. However, as we know, humanity's disobedience and sin brought disruption to that peace. Yet, despite mankind's failure, God's plan for peace never changed. Even in the midst of suffering and brokenness, God's promise of peace remained. And He continues to offer that peace to us today. In the Old Testament, we see God's heart for peace in the way He spoke to His people through prophets. One of the most beautiful images of peace is found in the prophecy of the coming Messiah, who would be called the Prince of Peace. The Bible assures us that God has always been at work, bringing His people back to a place of peace. His desire is not only for a global peace, but for peace within every individual. When Jesus came into the world, He brought a peace that no earthly power could offer. When He walked the earth, He healed the sick, comforted the brokenhearted, and brought reconciliation between people who were once divided. Jesus did not promise us a life without trouble, but He assured us that His peace would be with us, even in the midst of storms. His peace was not simply the absence of conflict, but a deep, abiding presence that rested in our hearts. In the New Testament, we are reminded that Jesus Himself is our peace. He is the one who breaks down the barriers that divide us, whether it be between people or between humanity and God. Through His death and resurrection, Jesus made peace possible for all who believe. He paid the ultimate price so that we could experience true peace, peace with God, peace with others, and peace within ourselves. In one of His most powerful teachings, Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Jesus' words are a reminder that the peace He offers is not fleeting or dependent on external circumstances. The peace of Christ goes beyond what the world can provide. It is a deep, unshakable peace that anchors us in God's love and promises. God's peace is not just an abstract concept, but something tangible, something we can experience every day. When we surrender our anxieties, our fears, and our burdens to Him, He fills us with His peace. This peace doesn't mean the absence of difficulties, but rather the presence of God in the midst of them. It is a peace that transcends understanding, a peace that guards our hearts and minds, even when the world around us seems to be in chaos. The Apostle Paul speaks of this peace in his letters, urging believers to allow the peace of Christ to rule in their hearts. He teaches that peace is not only a gift from God, but it is also something that we are called to pursue and maintain. As followers of Jesus, we are invited to be peacemakers in a world that desperately needs healing. The Bible encourages us to live in harmony with one another, to forgive as we have been forgiven, and to seek reconciliation wherever possible. In our daily lives, we are reminded that peace begins within. We can only offer peace to others when we first receive it from God. It's in our quiet moments of prayer, in our times of worship, and in our daily surrender to God that we experience His peace. This peace strengthens us to face life's challenges with hope and courage, knowing that we are not alone. As we seek peace within our own hearts, God also calls us to be instruments of peace in the world around us. The Bible encourages us to be peacemakers, to love our neighbors, and even to love our enemies. In a world that often encourages division, retaliation, and hostility, the call to be peacemakers stands in stark contrast. But as Christians, we are called to reflect the peace of Christ, not just in our words, but in our actions. It is through our love and kindness that we show the world the peace that only God can give. This peace that God offers is a reflection of His character, a peace that is steadfast, unchanging, and abundant. It is a peace that does not depend on circumstances, but on the unshakable foundation of God's love. No matter what trials we face, God's peace is available to us. It is a peace that comforts us in times of sorrow, strengthens us in times of weakness, and guides us in times of uncertainty. And just as God desires peace in our hearts, He also desires peace in the world. It's important to remember that God's vision for peace extends beyond our individual lives. His kingdom is a kingdom of peace, where justice, mercy, and love reign. As we look around us, we see a world that is broken and in need of reconciliation. God has called His people to be agents of change, to work for justice, and to bring the message of peace wherever we go. In the final moments of His time on earth, Jesus prayed for His followers, asking God to give them the peace He had. He prayed that they would be one, just as He and the Father were one. This unity, this harmony, is the peace that God desires not only for His church but for all of creation. He wants us to live in harmony with one another, to live out His love, and to be a testimony of the peace that He offers. So, as we reflect on God's desire for peace in our world and in our hearts, we are reminded that this peace is not just a hope for the future, but a present reality. God's peace is with us now, today. It is available to all who seek it. When we turn to God in prayer, when we trust in His promises, and when we choose to live out His love, His peace becomes real in our lives. And this peace is contagious. As we experience His peace, we can share it with those around us. God has promised that one day He will make all things new. He will restore peace to the earth, and there will be no more pain, no more tears, and no more conflict. Until that day comes, we are called to be agents of peace, to live out God's peace in our daily lives, and to bring that peace to a world in desperate need. Thank you for joining us on this journey of faith. Remember, God's love is always with you, guiding and strengthening you. If you enjoyed this video, give your thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, may you walk in the assurance of His endless love.